What is going on, everybody? I am back again for a second streaming here on this Saturday afternoon. But this is the comic book team up show that I am co-host with. So let me bring in my co-host here, Victoria, aka Read Across the Stores. V, what is up? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Vic? Victoria, are you there? All right, we were just gonna. Oh, she's never headphone in. Victoria, you hear me?
I think I'm having audio problems. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know what's happening. I don't know, but anyway, I guess I'll just have to wing it.
No. Try to jump out. You can hear me,
right?
Oh no, you can't hear me.
This is weird. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn this off.
Try to jump out and then back in. Can you? If you can hear me.
Oh my god, great timing.
This is pure entertainment. We planned this whole thing actually for you folks that are watching right now.
No, I can't hear you.
Let me just message.
Hold on, I might have to close it and come back. Sorry, Justin. Because I could hear before. Okay, hang on, I'll be back.
All right. In the meantime, I'm going to bring in our special guest that we have for a comic book team up. And this is her first time on my channel, which I'm really excited to collaborate. And hopefully we'll do more of this as well. And it is my good friend, Abbie.
Hi.
How about that for an intro, Abbie?
I was laughing so hard. I was like, that would happen. That would happen. Such great timing. Love it.
Yeah, I'm like, everything was working great right before we went live.
We were having a great conversation.
And she's like, I can't hear her. I'm like trying to explain to her, even though she can't hear me. I'm like, log out. I just messaged her in the group.
Maybe if I talk louder into it, you hear me.
Yeah. I genuinely thought she was messing with me at first. So that's great. So yeah, we are here today to talk a little bit about Sweet Tooth. We're going to break down the first trade. Really excited. Jeff Lemire, one of my favorite writers of all time.
My favorite.
Yes. Yeah. And you, I was gonna say, you've definitely encouraged me to check out other work of his as well.
Yes.
So, let me see. What was I gonna say? Where did I just put it? So this is what got me, going with this I picked up the compendium the minute it came out. I did watch the show first, and I know we are going to talk a little bit about the show as well. So that was kind of, I went in that order. I watched the show first, and then I started reading the book, and I only stopped after the first trade. Specifically to just kind of have my mind fresh for this show. Yes. But now you watched the show as well, right?
Yeah, I have seen it.
Okay. Did you read the book first and then watch?
I read the book first. Yeah. Okay. I read the book like a year ago, probly. Yeah.
Okay.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah. Nice. I see Victoria's back in the back room here. Let me bring her in. Hey.
Hello.
I don't know why, but on my laptop I suddenly couldn't hear when it was doing your countdown, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then so
you just checking, you can hear us now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I'm on my phone now because I think it might be something to do with how old my laptop is. So
gotcha.
Could be.
It's just weird that we were all like talking right before that. It's so weird.
I know. And then it was just like, none for you, and I was like,
So I am gonna have to go back later and take that clip. That's gonna be a clip that I play on my shows. So just so you know, it's gonna be me introducing you and you just like staring straight, not reacting at all.
You weren't moving. You were just staring. So I thought your screen was frozen at first, but you were still talking, but your eyes weren't moving or blinking. It was just.
I'm like, here she is, Victoria. Victoria.
Just first thing in the morning things, just being a psychopath.
I legitimately thought you were messing with me. I thought like you were just keeping a straight face. You're like, I'm just gonna pretend like I can't hear him.
That must be what I do when I panic. I must just be like,
it's great. I love it. So yeah, so anyone watching the replay here, if you're taking the time, or if you're in the chat, which I see we got 6 people watching right now, so appreciate you all hanging out. We are talking Sweet Tooth. We are gonna talk some spoilers, so be forewarned. Actually, let me see if I have a little banner for spoilers, because I like to always throw that up because I never use banners. Yeah, we are going to be talking a little bit about we're not going to hold back, I guess we'll put it that way. So yeah, I don't have one set right now, but let's see. Real quick, let's just say hello to I see John in the chat here. He said,
Yay.
time for Justin's 3rd of 17 shows today. Looking forward to it. Yes, John. Thank you very much. I try to I try to hang out on YouTube all day, every day. He says he's so used to me messing with him that's just old. Yeah, like John would just mess with me on our X-Men show. So I just you just don't know. I don't trust anybody now. We also have Uncanny Swag in the house. What's going on, Swag? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So yeah, like I said, we are going to be talking about Sweet Tooth, and we'll break this down. So and I should note, as I always do, I put your information in the description below, so if you're not following V or Abbie, make sure you do so. Abbie, I made sure to also put your YouTube channel and Instagram account. So yeah, absolutely, if you guys are not subbed up, do so. And then of course make sure you're subbed up to Victoria as well, because this team up, comic book team up, goes back and forth on each other's shows. So make sure that you are subbed up to V, as our next one we'll be back over on Victoria's channel. So I see Everyone's Comics in the house. What's going on, Everyone's Comics? Thanks for stopping in. All right, so that's like the spoiler warning, like that. We're gonna get into this. So we're talking Sweet Tooth. We're gonna talk about the show a little bit. We're gonna talk about the book, but let's start with the book. We're talking about the first trade here ultimately. Victoria, I'm going to start with you. I'll pass it to you first on your general thoughts of just these first, I think it was 5 issues total was the first trade technically. What did you think of this overall, and how would you grade it too?
It's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I just think that it's such a good taste of what's to come. You're introduced to Jeff's art style, you're introduced to his writing style, you're introduced to the characters in a way that you're like, what the heck is happening here? How did this happen? What? So that was my general thoughts anyway. And I just really love the introduction to Jeopard as well, and how brutal it is. So yeah, it sort of just gives you a really good taste of where the story is going to go to keep you reading. So yeah, I just think it's such an outstanding first 5 issues. I just really liked it. So yeah.
Did you read this first before you watched the show?
Yeah, so I read it's collected into the format that I read it in. It's collected into 3 hardback books. So I read the first hardback book on my tablet, hardback book, but which is 3 trades, and then I read the second one I got physically from my comic book shop. So yeah, I read up to the second 2/3 of it, and then watch the show. So
okay,
yeah,
cool, perfect. I see Jason in the chat here, Claiming Comics. What's going on, Jason? He said, I'm driving and listening. Appreciate you, man, for hanging out with us here. Drive safely, please. We also got Fuzzy Dunlop in the house all the way from Scotland. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for swinging by. Yes, so let's pass it over to Abbie. Abbie, what are your initial thoughts on this first trade, and how would you grade it?
Well, I mean, I'm very biased, because you guys know that I'm a Jeff Lemire stan, super fan. Talk about him all the time. So I'm very, very biased in my opinion when I say 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000. I mean, I'm always going to hold a special place for Sweet Tooth in my heart, because it's the first Jeff Lemire story I ever read. It was recommended to me by the people at my comic shop, so it's always special to me for a lot of reasons. So yeah, I love it.
Perfect. 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000. Great grade.
Yeah, that's why we wanted you on the show today, because we both knew that you're such a Jeff Lemire stan. So we were like, we can't do it without Abbie. We need to get Abbie on.
I've read a lot. There's very few things that I have left on my Jeff Lemire TBR to read. So
yeah, amazing.
I will throw out there, you still need to complete Descender at some point. I'm just saying.
I know. Well, I'm waiting for all the trades and stuff. That's how I'm reading it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I know you were hesitant on it.
Yeah, I was, but I'm actually enjoying it more than I did. Yeah, so
all right.
Yeah, what are we on now? Ascender? That's what I'm on. Volume 2 of Ascender. I don't know.
Ascender, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. We were going to have to talk about that at some point.
As well, because I think we're doing book club over on Dan's channel with Jen, Dan.
Yes, you guys are talking about it. That's right.
Yeah, and I think Dylan maybe. I feel so bad because I can't remember. There's one other person that I'm really excited to chat to who is joining us from the community as well to talk about Descender. So
I will
we're going to
be in the chat
over there. Yeah.
It's tonight, right?
Haven't read it. It's a little while away now. I think it's like maybe like 2 weeks away.
Oh, not tonight. Okay, I remember seeing something posted. I thought it was tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
well, I'm definitely gonna be there.
Away. Yeah. So if you haven't read it, anyone in the chat, that now is the time.
Very cool. Very cool. I see Perry Comics in the house too. What's going on, Perry? Thanks for stopping.
Little eyeball emoji.
I love that emoji. That's my favorite.
That's how Perry lets you know he's lurking. That's what he does. That's all he does, and then you won't hear from him. But he's here. He's lurking. So I see Fuzzy says Justin is like Samuel L. Jackson of YouTube. He's everywhere all the time. Hardest working man in comic books. Dude, I appreciate you, dude. I don't have that type of voice, but you know, that says a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, does that mean that I'm Carol Danvers? Does that mean I'm Brie Larson? Oh, that would be amazing. I would love to be Brie Larson, especially with the face, the emotionless face at the start, because you know, like she's very good at the stoic face. So,
I love it.
I just have to show you guys. Atlas got her own chair because she wouldn't. Oh, get down. She wouldn't stop getting on my lap, so I got her own chair. So she's officially a member of that.
She's part of the show.
Team.
Part of the show.
Yeah,
I love it. So I think that I mean, I'm right there with you. I think I'm partially biased just with everything I love from Jeff Lemire. He is definitely, I mean, anything he writes, I at least from what I've read so far, I just fall in love with. And I still have a lot of other, titles that he's written.
The man is a machine. He is constantly pumping out content. I'm like, I can't keep up.
Yeah. No, he absolutely is. And it's just home run after home run, I feel like, which is very hard to do. So, yeah, I mean, if we're, I would, if I do a grade of like out of 10, I would say, easily a 9.2, maybe a 9.4. I kind of do like the comic grading type of grade. So maybe a 9.2 or 9.4 up there. I mean,
what's missing? That doesn't make it a 10.
So it's interesting. So one of the things, and maybe this is a good segue, we could talk a little bit about the artwork. And here, let me clarify this too. I said this to you guys backstage, but for anyone watching this, I started out by watching the show first.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different. The other thing I've done that with that worked out was Hunger Games, which I enjoyed the movie, and then I actually enjoyed the first. I only read the first book, but I really enjoyed the first book. But for this, it was definitely a different angle. Oh yeah, and Chaos Walking.
Yeah, Chaos
I love
Walking.
Chaos Walking. Oh, I went down a rabbit hole with Chaos Walking. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
you got me reading books again. You got me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm reading books again.
Michelle and Copy are here as well. So hi, Michelle.
Hey, Moonlit Comics in the house and Copy 801. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Also, Michelle, congrats on nearly 2K on Instagram.
Oh yeah, she's about to do another big giveaway.
Cool. So, sorry to interrupt you. I just
no. Yeah, no, good call. So for me, I don't know. I guess my expectations were, at least for the art, were different than and I think I just painted something in my mind based on the show, and that can do that.
Art direction for the show, and then the graphic novel are just very vastly different styles.
And that's the risk that I take. Yeah, like I know I'm signing up for that it might ruin certain aspects of the book. So it is hard to take my word for what we're talking about here with the art and stuff. But I certainly wasn't like blown away by the art, but I get it, and I do think it fits it well. Again, I guess I just have a different vision based on the show. So, but we'll get into that. But Victoria, what did you think about the artwork in general and how this goes along? Who's the artist, by the way?
It's
Jeff Lemire.
Jeff the artist. Oh my gosh! All right, I love
it.
Yeah.
Wow, everything.
Right. I'm like, oh, I love this.
I love the art. I love anything like super weird, like really like messy line work. I just think it's phenomenal. It kind of another artist that is a bit like Jeff Lemire that I really liked is the guy that did the art for Deceased Unkillables. He's got, it's not the same, but it's like another kind of like weird, like art style. And I just love like the weird sort of like unusual type of art, and like this panel with, I have it open before, I don't know, all of the big panels of like Jeopard I just think are like scary, like just straight up scary, so I just love them. And I just think that Jeff Lemire has really sort of like mastered his like niche weird art style for this kind of like post-apocalyptic type of story. I think it really fits, but it's such a heavy juxtaposition to the almost like cute style of the TV show. So I think that's super interesting.
Yeah,
Abbie, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's the contrast is vastly different. So you have this colorful, dreamy-esque almost like art direction that they took with the show, and then it's almost like watercolory is like the best way I can describe it, dreamy like, and then you just have this dark, grungy, sketchy style that is in the graphic novel. So they're two completely different vibes. So it's just, you have to kind of put your brain in, in that sort of the different hats or the modes, I guess.
Totally.
And I will say, for anyone who maybe hasn't seen this yet or hasn't watched the show or read it yet, I would probably, if I had a chance to go back and do it over, I probably would, want to read it first, as most, probably, most people would suggest for any book to movie type thing. So for this, for sure. And it's definitely way darker. I mean, the book in general is way darker than the show. I mean, like you were just saying, like Abbie, like it's very it's stunning, work that they do with the show.
I was very hesitant when I saw Robert Downey Jr.'s like announcement or whatever for it, when he was talking about how it was a family show, and I was like, but it's not. It's dark, it's violent. So I was like, this is like, because it's like Walking Dead for children,
It's totally that.
But for me, I'm just sort of treating them as two completely separate entities of each other, because the best way I can describe it is the show is loosely based on the comic.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Very loosely based.
That's a good way to put it.
One thing about the comic, though, even though it is so dark and the art is so like gritty, it's surprisingly bingeable. Like you can read it quite quick because it is so like fast paced and like heavily driven by the art. So like I think I read those like first two books in one day. Like I read them really, really quick because I was just like, oh my God, I need more. There isn't so much detail. Your eyes have to work so hard, so it is easier to go through the story faster and understand what's happening.
Agreed. Totally. I definitely think that it was a smooth read, and I think, I like the pacing of the book. Just again within these first 5 issues, I feel like everything ran really smoothly. Nothing was like forced or cut off short or anything. Again, I did have like some, and this was just mentally, I have to adjust, but like I have some like things where I'm like expecting certain things to happen. And so, these first 5 issues definitely only, touch very lightly on what the show has done. And I mean, watching the first 8 episodes of the show, that really goes deep, pretty quickly. But there are some things that really do, they think they really wanted to make sure they somehow included. And one of the things that stood out to me was the dream of of Sweet Tooth when he's dreaming of his dad again. And they did have a segment of that on the show. I keep pointing at my TV, so if you guys see me pointing, I'm pointing at my TV. So they had a segment of that on the show, and of course the show, it was much lighter and more of reminiscent. And but his dream in the book was very dark. It was like scary almost, as he ages too.
Oh, the way he draws the dad just fucking terrified me. I was like, whoa.
What's up, Sid Lordley? We got Sith in the house. Nice. Moonless talking about Gideon Falls here. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Gideon Falls.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, so let's let's kind of break down the book. So essentially it opens up right with Sweet Tooth kind of on his own with his dad. I mean, it's that in that regard, it is, you know, kind of similar to that of the story of the show, although the show goes into way more detail and there are other story arcs going on at the same time. But I like this perspective of it for the book. I like that this is all we know. It's just, you know, you're learning it as you go. You don't really know the kind of world you're in. You just kind of have an idea that it's, like a post-apocalyptic type of world, that people are dying, that there's a sickness, and you don't know, you know, why. And basically the father's trying to protect his son, and they live out in the woods. He's basically saying, you don't leave the woods. I like how much like he's really painted this picture into the boy's head of like, if you leave, you will like burn up, and you know, it's like hell and brimstone.
Yeah, in the graphic novel, that is very intense with his feelings of you don't run away.
Right.
And I feel like almost in the show, it's almost like a Pinocchio thing, like a Geppetto thing with Pinocchio. Like that's it's very different approaches to the parenting of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The dad is more like cute dad, like dorky dad doing his best, like just trying to muddle through the situation that he's ended up in to look after this, like but whereas in the book, like it seems more calculated, more extreme, more you know, like there's more religious themes. It's just a whole lot darker, so
and good point with the religious themes that are kind of played into this. And I know that Gus's dad is explaining how the mom's in heaven, and if you pray and you don't go out and don't leave here, like don't, you know, you stay where you are and you pray and you're good, and you know, one day you'll be reunited with her. And that's kind of like the whole mindset that's built into to Gus's head. I was looking back at my notes for a second. I forgot that his name was Gus initially, you know, as we know that a certain somebody calls him Sweet Tooth later, but so I mean, that first issue, really a lot of it happens right away. The dad dies, he's on his own.
That's
you kind of
so
just get
grim.
It really was. It really was, like the artwork and seeing how his dad was drawn, like, you know, you certainly don't see that in the show. And then of course you get the hunters right away. Like you get you know, Gus is eating the candy bars. He sees these candy bars. I like that. I feel like that's become like a symbol of the show or the series, you know, and obviously his name. So I mean, then the hunters come in, they essentially are going to take him. That was really gruesome too, the whole hunter scene. And when you get Jeopard coming in here, like that blam on the left, like that head just being completely splattered is like, whew.
That's grim, right?
That was to me where I'm like, okay, this is kind of the setting the tone, you know, setting the tone. Any thoughts? Any other thoughts on this kind of opening? How we first get to meet Mr. Jeopard?
No, he's just terrified.
I can definitely say, like, I really enjoy the actor who plays Jeopard, but in my brain, Jeopard's always older, you know, because he's older in the comic, you know. So I was expecting, like, I don't know, like an Idris Elba or like a for Jeopard, because you know he is this kind of gruff guy in the comic, and so it is. I'm interested to see where the show takes it in terms of this younger narrative with him, because just the way they introduce that character is different, and I think the motivations are both very different. So they're very two different ideas of Jeopard. So.
Yeah, definitely. And did they change him from a hockey player to a football player, I believe, as well?
Yeah, I think to Americanize it.
Comic. Yeah, but they turned him into a. Because is Jeff Lemire Canadian?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
He's
okay.
Canadian.
I understand now.
Yeah, like pretty much most of his characters at some point have some interaction with hockey. Like that's his ongoing thing with his books. So.
Yeah, the great point about the actor that played the big man in the show. I think that I love him. I think he's.
I like him. Yeah.
To me though, and like you're saying, like for you, how you picture this older because you read the books first. I'm like, that's the big man. Is that guy? You know, not this guy in the book. So to me, I'm just like, oh, who's this guy? Like it's like it's a little jarring almost, because like you said, it's just two complete different things altogether. But I'm adjusting to that as I go.
For me, it's like this completely different experience, and it's kind of fun, like not really necessarily knowing what bits and pieces they're going to take from the comic to put into the show. Totally. You don't know what you're getting. Like the whole thing with the dad, like it's so much, I feel like it's almost sadder in the show because we get more of him.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
where it's there's just more tragedy early on, and I'm like,
Oh,
I'm emotionally ready for this.
no, that's a
Yeah.
good point. And I was wondering, or maybe that kind of answers my question, but I was wondering if they were going to get back into discussing more about the dad somehow, or flashbacks,
Yeah.
or I know you guys read further than I have, but I was wondering, I'm just like, man, it's really short. I don't really have that connection with the dad the way we get in the show.
Yeah, because the book definitely, I feel, it kind of fast forwards through a lot of stuff, not necessarily in a bad way, but like it's moving. Whereas the show, I think they're taking all those precious moments and kind of like giving you more,
dragging them
on
out more.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I see
totally.
Michelle was saying, I appreciate all this great information so far. I need this. I'm going to hop off since I still need to finish the series and read the trade. Yeah, no, fair enough, Michelle.
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining, Michelle.
you can come back and watch the replay later after you've caught up, and you can see where we stand with the rest. So, all right. So like, and then issue 2, we kind of just jump into, Jeopard finishes up where, like the panels that you were just showing, Victoria, he basically saves Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth goes running and hiding, as kind of what it was like in the show. Although in the show, he has this really cool like hideout spot underneath the staircase, which is like, and it's like all set up so that you can be warned of visitors and things like that. You don't get that in the book. But certainly he runs and hides under the bed. Jeopard comes in anyways after he's killed off the guys, or the hunter scares off the one hunter. And then that's kind of where we get introduced to him, calling him Sweet Tooth, giving him candy, right?
My Sweet Tooth right now.
There you go. Yeah, very fitting for the show. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to think. So from there, we kind of just started their journey, right? He ends up like accepting to take him. And again, I think with the show, I really like the back and forth, the dialogue that the boy has with him in the beginning. It's cute, and that's the goal they were going with is cute.
Yeah, it builds their relationship. Whereas book, they're kind of thrusted into this whole situation, and again, it kind of goes back to Jeopard's motivations. They're very different in the book versus his motivations in the show. Because in the show, he very much doesn't really want anything to do with him. He's like, okay, like, no, I'm not getting involved. Whereas in the book, his objective is Gus.
Right.
Yeah.
I love in the show where he's like standing on the mountain and screaming down to Big Man as he wants to join. I think that was like the end of the
cinematography.
I love that whole running sequence where he has dog tucked into his belt and he like jumps on the river stones and like chase it. I just love that whole sequence.
Like
in the show.
all
I
his
thought that was really cute.
His little creatures that he makes.
Yeah.
All his little friends that he's crafted. Like he's so crafty in the show, and it's just cute.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So cute.
Now that I think about it, do we get dog in the book? We don't get dog, right? That's not a
dog's
at all,
entirely
right?
in the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I feel like is also a device to bond Big Man and Gus on screen a lot more because like that's relatable for a lot of kids and like parental bond and stuff like that. So I think it sort of was entirely crafted for the show. It kind of reminds me of there's that bloody Kevin Spacey movie about people being wrongfully imprisoned, but his son has this dog toy and it's called Cloud Dog. It reminds me of that for some reason. So
interesting. From there, I think issue 3, speaking of dogs, we do get to see some dogs, but they're these scary red-eyed dogs.
Are they hybrids?
Dogs
are hybrids.
So that's what I was wondering is like, who are these, individuals, I guess,
You'll get answers later.
Okay. Yeah. So there. So
you gotta keep reading.
Right. Okay. So they just kind of introduce you to, these creatures that attack them. Essentially, they don't say anything. There's these like really scary, vicious dogs. And we see the power of Jeopard. We see like, he helps, fight these things off. And it's also interesting. I remember I don't have the page, but it's the one scene towards the end of issue 3 where Sweet Tooth explains that like this whole little journey so far in the first couple of issues, he's always, even though he did what he went against what his dad said to do and leave the house, he hasn't felt scared really. He's kind of felt confident and adventurous and figuring out what he wants to do and where he's going with the big man, and he feels safe with the big man. But he even says it here in issue 3 towards the end that this is the first time that he was truly like scared. Because they saw the bodies that were lined up in this town that they had come up to towards the end of the third, which I mean, that was heavy seeing that.
Oh God, yeah. That was heavy. But that page specifically reminds me of The Walking Dead. Like quite heavily. So. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, that was definitely my expectations for the show. It was going to be like a Walking Dead type of thing, and so seeing all these vivid colors and stuff, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah,
that's a choice. That's an interesting choice.
Suspicious. Seth Lordley says, does V get comparisons to Omega's voice on the Bad Batch? This is why I just rolled out of bed in the morning. Sorry, voice. So yeah, that's why I sound like this. I don't sound like this all day, unfortunately. That would be nice to be interesting, you know. Actually, I haven't watched any of the Bad Batch yet. I'm gonna binge it all in like.
I haven't either. I'm gonna binge it too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I caught
everyone keeps watching,
so
I'm like, no, I'm binging it. Like, I like, that's how I watched Rebels, and that's how I enjoyed Rebels the most. So I'm definitely gonna binge the Bad Batch. Yeah, I'm excited. Nice. And reading
Everyone's
all of Sweet Tooth.
He's going to read
live. Yeah,
read it.
You certainly should. Yes, you certainly should. I actually saw Comixology, so for anyone who is looking to read it. Comixology has the first not trade, but like the first 3 trades, I guess, combined.
Like the bigger one, the more.
Yeah, as part of the Comixology, the limited, the unlimited stuff. So it's a good way to jump in if you don't have access to it otherwise.
This is what it looks like. Well, this is the second one, but this is what it looks like physically, like the 3 trades in one
hardcover
book. So yeah, and it looks real cool under there.
Yeah, I
Victoria and her hardcovers.
I want to get those.
Yeah.
Ones.
Yeah,
It
you
sounds
can't
weird
get the first one anymore. Like it's impossible. It's so expensive. So that's why I only have.
No, they're only. I've seen them in paperback, but I haven't seen them in hardcover.
Yeah, I just got this on a fluke. Like it popped up on previews as showing as available for ordering. So I sent it to my shop with the little eyes emoji, and he ordered it, and it just came. So, but it's not available there at the moment.
I was gonna get the compendium, but I just can't do the Netflix sticker.
Yeah, totally fair.
I can't. I hate it.
Yeah. The compendium worked out to be like, like
sticker.
It worked out to be for me the actually most cost effective way to get volumes 1 and 3. So that's why I decided to just get it.
It is cost effective, but for me personally, I already own it, so it's like
exactly.
Do you own the single issues, Abbie?
No, I only have the trade. I got all my trades pretty much used because I've read this long. It came out. When did this series come out? Like a long time ago. So it's been out for a while. So
cool.
I was just picking up at local bookshops and seeing it used, and
nice. Very nice.
Cool.
All right. So we get that kind of heavy scene, and again, this is where it really painted it well, or another dark moment of seeing those bodies kind of built up. So the end of issue 3 is where we see them come into this town, and it actually looks abandoned. It actually, you guys bring up Walking Dead. It does remind me, especially the horse, like them being on a horse and everything. It just reminds me of the beginning of Walking Dead. Yeah. So from there, we jump the ending of 3, which is basically them going up into this building and discovering an individual who is on a bed in what looks to be like a robe or pajamas essentially, and has bunny ears. And
not child friendly.
No, not child friendly at all. And this was definitely very dark. So going into 4, we meet all these new characters for a little bit, and this woman here who is laying in a bed, like welcoming them in, and then they get kind of tricked, and there's a gun pointed to Jepper's head immediately. What did you guys think of this whole scene here, or this issue, really, this issue 4 here?
I mean, people gotta live,
true.
So they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I think anybody in that type of dire situation, when you're desperate enough, you'll do anything.
Yeah. If it's gonna give you protection and food, and you're in that situation, but it's still like it's horrific to think about someone being in that situation, you know,
Yeah.
like, so it's
Yeah.
very like,
I think I don't know. I think that it's weird because like the graphic novel versus the show, I almost feel like the graphic novel has been more time since that
Yes.
event happened.
Yep.
So everyone has now kind of gone through the phase of, oh, let me help you. But now everyone's like, you're on your own, you know. Everyone's fighting for themselves. Whereas the show is kind of like, I feel like it's just fresh.
Mhm.
The apocalypse is fresh. Still very fresh in everyone's brain. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of different, you know.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting in the show how they've kind of like pushed a couple of concepts from the comic together. Like the lady in the zoo. I feel like she's kind of like almost an amalgamation of a few characters and sort of things that happen in the comics. So they kind of made it into another plot line, which is cool. Like, it's cool to see, and it's good that they've kind of like done their own thing to make it like child friendly and like make sense and make the characters like you know, like whatever, to like integrate it also with like Dr. Singh's story.
I love
but
his
still
story.
it's like
Yep.
So I think that's an interesting way to kind of use, because it does kind of skip over this, but it does almost take someone that we know from this part and put them in a different setting, because that's what it feels like anyway.
Yeah, reading this first issue, I was kind of wondering if I was going to learn about those other two storylines that I know so well, you know, from the show.
Yeah,
and it really isn't. I mean, it's really just this journey of getting out of the woods, which I think is like the title of this first like trade is you know, out of the woods. So it's just this ongoing process of just their story. So one thing, by the way, I didn't mention, and for anybody watching or is wondering right now, like, where, you know, why did the boy go with Jeopard, or where are they going? It's because Jeopard offered this location called the Preserve, which is supposed to be this safe space essentially for kids like him, and that's, you know, and that is like touched on. I mean, certainly touched on in the show, just in a different way. But here you don't really know, you know, Jeopard's what his plan is per se. But he is taking care of the boy, you know, he is protecting him and not letting anyone bad do anything. But so this issue 4 was really a lot more action packed, for sure, with the guns and everything that are going on. So I like that you see, basically they let him go, right? Like, basically Jeopard is very confident, and he's like, you know, get that gun out of my face. Like, you know, do you really think that you'll be able to shoot me before I turn it around on you? You know, and he basically like dares the guy, and the guy is not really a killer. The guy who's like the I don't know what you call it, the owner of the house. The pimp. So he's, you know, tries to act like this tough guy, but really he's just a sleazeball and is not a killer. So he's like, all right, fine. Yeah, you're not worth our time. You know, he lets them go, and Jeopard's just ready to walk out. Like, they're just like, all right, off we go. But Sweet Tooth, being you know, sweet and caring, he's like, hey, like, those women there are still terrified. They're clearly not being treated well. That guy is a bully and a mean person. Like, we need to go save them. And this whole time he's just like, you know, like, that's just more problems. Like, let's just focus on getting out of here the way we can. But of course they turn around, and that's where the action comes in. And we see, you know, we see some blood here. He really, you know, breaks it up pretty quickly, Jep.
And interestingly, that's also a point at which Gus says, like, he's never seen a woman in real life before.
Oh,
he's like,
yeah, good
I've
point.
never seen a lady in real life, but we have to save them. Like, he just instinctively was like, wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point. What's up, Dave?
Yeah.
Happy Saturday.
It just shows how observant kids are. You know,
like, which I thought was like a nice moment to see, kind of like making sure that you do see that he is just like an innocent child that just, you know, like, as kids do, they want the best outcome, and they like don't want people to get hurt, because, you know, that's scary. They don't want to be scared. So
well, and then, you know, going into issue 5, we kind of see, you know, after they've now essentially, you know, killed off the guy or the husband and wife that were running the place, and these women are free, and now they're essentially like, well, this is like kind of our safe space still. Like, we're not gonna go anywhere else. Like, they don't really have a mission per se. Like, they're still scared and not sure, like, you know, with the world as it is, as we still are kind of learning at this point, like, why is the world so bad? You know, so they essentially split ways at that point. And then we get into kind of the dream sequence in issue 5, where we get a little bit of a flashback to see the dad a little bit, which I wanted to. Again, as I was saying before, like I was wondering if they were going to elaborate more on the dad, and I guess we get like a little bit here, but it's really not. It's really more of a nightmare for Sweet Tooth, right? And it's way different than the show. Yeah. So what'd you guys think of this with issue 5 and just kind of seeing this flashback before we get to like the buildup of the end?
It's definitely more like honing in on that, like the religious themes, I think, in this dream sequence, which are obviously like dropped in the TV show, because it's really like putting that fear back into Gus, because Gus has kind of been like, I broke the rules, and like it's turned out okay, like and this he starts having this dream, and then he's like reminded all over again of his dad's rules, and oh my god, like what have I done, kind of thing, especially after he's had that like scary experience. So I thought it was like cool placement in the in the pacing or in the construction of the issue. So
Agreed. Abbie, any other thoughts here on this, or just seeing or even as we think about the comparisons of the show Dream versus the nightmare here in the
I just think it's very interesting, I guess, how different the way the dad is, and the it's just I feel like the show dad is coming from a very, very, very loving place, and wants to not tell him about all of this scary stuff and just try and protect him and keep him in this little bubble where obviously the dad in the graphic novel is very much led by fear, like and it's just very different. So different takes, I guess.
And look how like the dad just gets older and old, like
like that whole sequence right there was
very dark.
What way am I? Oh this way. Oh my god, this is hard because it's backwards. That took me a long time. It's terrifying how he gets like more and more dead, just like more and more progressively zombie like.
I think that's almost like to represent like Gus's guilt, I think, in not doing what his father told him to do.
Right, going against the grain.
Totally.
And meanwhile, Jeopard is just all bleeding there in that panel.
Yeah,
like he's just the guy's just constantly wounded.
That's what I'm saying. He's like Liam Neeson, man. Yeah. Like it's beat up. He's like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. It's like,
nonstop.
Fix this.
I have a specific set of skills.
So with this issue too, reminded me, and I was telling my girlfriend like that he kind of reminds me of like the Punisher in a way, because in this issue too, we get him just like plowing through guys, and I love oh man, I have to show that one panel of like it almost looks like puzzle pieces here it is.
Justin flicking through a physical book. Shocking turn of events.
This scene right
here. That's incredible.
Jeff Lemire loves to do this kind of stuff because he does a lot of similar type of paneling with Gideon Falls.
Yep, I was just thinking that. I love that.
It's very like meta almost, I think.
Like the way Jeff crafts dream sequences is so unique and so different than what other people do. And
no one else is doing it the way.
They're most of them are very terrifying.
Totally. The panel I showed, like you see him just going through and killing men, a bunch of people along the way. It's a great way to illustrate their journey, to really show like that this is not an easy journey as they're trying to get to this preserve. It's a well told way without having to add too many pages, essentially. To showing the gruesomeness, and you really do get the idea of it just within these few pages that they do show it. What's up, Dave? Dave collects
it really illustrates how Jeff Lemire's art really drives the story. Like you can see what's happening without him actually putting any dialogue in there, and you still get the full effect. Like there doesn't have to be any like bang pow Mr. Jeopard where, and that whole sequence, like it's all just purely driven by the art, and you 100% know what's happening. Oh, hey, Brandon's in the house as well.
What's up, Brandon?
Hello. So I think that is really fantastic.
I think that I feel like in this book he didn't really call him big man as much as I wanted it. wanted to hear
Yeah.
that. I was just used to that with the show,
Man.
Big Man. Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, so and then so after the crazy battle scenes, they finally get to the preserve, and this layout of doesn't look like too much, big building and surrounded by fencing and kind of a prison-ish type feel.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. I hate these sequences where children get taken away from their parental figure. They always get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much looks like a camp situation, or like a refugee camp.
Right.
Yeah, totally inspired by some kind of internment camp. Yeah, especially interestingly with Jeff Lemire being Canadian, because they did do that type of thing to children in Canada not even that long ago. So that's very interesting. And I wonder if that was actually, I don't know if he was aware of that. And
I think he is. I think it's because he brings it in a lot of some of his other work. Like, I think he very much is aware, and I think a lot of his stuff is a social commentary on things that are happening.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Yeah, so very sad, very scary, very gut wrenching. Yeah, it's just the whole sequence. And again, it's not super heavy on the dialogue. It's just a few speech bubbles and a lot of facial expressions, which is just
so we get to see another character here towards the end here. Abbott, right? Mr. Abbott. So that was an interesting way to kind of bring this guy in. I guess I didn't know what or where it was going until as I'm going into it. But this guy pulls up. We don't really know much about him. He's got these glasses on, and that's the only thing I really remember him from with the show. And I certainly know what that just this kind of evil looking dude in a way.
He reminds me of the villain from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, damn. I seen when we watched it. Yeah, he's totally the villain.
I've seen this look before.
Yeah.
This is familiar.
He's like, we've captured Sonic, and now we've captured Sweet Tooth. So I mean, just based on what I've read, and if I'm pretending to not, know the show, I just get the bad vibes. And then of course, spoilers, he gives them to him and says,
bad vibes.
And the deal.
I mean, it's crazy. It's just that, it's betrayal, with that. The way I guess Jeopard's betrayal is portrayed is, it's interesting the choices that they made. Because in the show, it's very much about Jeopard's past, I guess, being his betrayal.
Yeah.
Whereas this is Jeopard actively betraying. So.
Yeah. That orange bag gives me bad memories.
Yeah.
In that orange bag.
Bad vibes. Yeah. And this panel here is just incredible. Wow.
Yep.
Very very poignant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, kind of where we leave off with the story within these 5 issues, which you both said, and I agree, definitely reads pretty quickly, in terms of just how you get through. Which I feel like Lemire's work in general, a lot of it reads quickly now that I think about it, because I feel like Gideon Falls read pretty quickly.
Through that.
Yeah. Even Descender, I think, reads pretty quickly. So, they do a good job on displaying, as you guys both said, getting a lot of emotion from the artwork and not necessarily needing a lot of dialogue in certain situations, which I always appreciate that, letting the artist kind of tell the story, or the artwork speak for itself.
And isn't that why we read comics, is because we want to see the artwork tell the story? If we wanted just the dialogue, we would be reading novels every night half the time. So I just think it's quite, I don't want to say masterful, but it's pretty close. It's very it hits all of the high notes for comic book for sure.
Yeah, Dave said he hasn't seen the show or read this book.
Oh
Anyone like the show? We love the show. Yeah, get on it,
Dave.
Both are good. But as I was saying in the beginning, Dave, I know you jumped in later, but go back and read the book first. I would say read
the book first.
Yeah, if you can get this, I would start with the book. I went the other direction, and I kind of wish I didn't. So
I like that recent comment.
What's that, John? I was talking about pre-gaming.
No, the other one, the one after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Come on, Dave.
And after you finish it, you also have the return to look forward to. Yeah, which I haven't obviously read yet, but I did just collected the single issues because I was like, sorry, I'm dying.
Is that not in? Did they not put it in the compendium?
Huh?
Did they not put that in the compendium?
I don't think so.
No, because those just came out. I mean, that last issue just came out.
Well,
I shouldn't look at the back.
Recently. It's been solicited for a trade paperback, which I've ordered as well. But yeah, I bought.
Okay.
I just bought singles because I was like, I'm gonna read them eventually, so I want them.
Yeah.
Is it done without spoilers, Abbie? Was it just 5 issues or whatever?
Yeah, that's it. As far as I know, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
6 issues for the return, and then that's it.
Which we can have a whole other discussion on that in the future.
We certainly should. So I mean, I know Victoria and I are like, we're exploring different, sets of trades, but we have all, we talked about like revisiting to talk about like more trades of a certain series. So I think this is one that maybe we should do, and break down like a 2 and 3 or however we want to. Yeah. Because I definitely plan on reading some more. I love all the Dave people. Effing Dave. Dave says, this is the other Dave. There's 2 Daves in the house. So Cajun says, we haven't read it, but binged the show and we liked it. Frustrating how Sweet Tooth doesn't do anything he's told.
Yeah, that is frustrating, but
it's that age though.
What child does what they're supposed to do?
That's true.
Yeah.
Not too many.
My daughter is the same age as Sweet Tooth, so it's totally believable to me. Like she's just like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Oh my god,
I'm not doing what you told me to.
Can you please make her a little Sweet Tooth cosplay, please?
Yeah, I'm so tempted. She has little antler, little pink antler headbands that she wears all the time, and so I look at her and I'm like, Sweet Tooth.
Hey, we got Steve in the house.
We should do like the next trade on Abbie's channel, and then like another trade on my channel, and like do that for like the next like a couple months maybe, because I think that would be super fun.
I would love that.
And then we can obviously finish off with like the finale of the return. So I think that would be super cool, and get some more live streams happening on Abbie's channel would be super fun, because I don't think you've done any lives on your channel before.
Oh, we definitely got to get you going on.
Justin's the master, so
that's great.
You've got the pro right here, so yeah.
We have 8 people watching right now. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I do want to say, if you are not subbed up and following both Victoria and Abbie, make sure you do. I put the information in the description below. Love the content you both are putting out, and also on Instagram as well. So make sure if you're looking for read recommendations, these 2 right here. This is where some people ask me like, where you always put out good recommendations. A lot of it is from you 2 that I take. So shout out to you 2. I can't keep up, of course, but I try my best.
Anytime Abbie reads something, I'm like, I'm reading that too.
Yeah,
I know, we're always reading things at the same time. Like, we're terrible influences for each other as well, because we feed into each other's like addictions. We're like, look at this special edition book. I'm like, oh, I need it now too.
Do you want it too? Ooh, look at this manga series. Do you want to buy all of them with me?
Why do I have 4 copies of the same book?
Sid says, following you both. Looks like Abbie is local to me, and John. They're both.
You are? Oh, yes. Hi. Yes, I am a local. Yes.
Yeah, Sith, if you don't follow Sith and the SpineTicks crew, they have a really fun stream late at night on tonight, actually, every Saturday night. And when I say that goes late, it's 11 o'clock your time, Abbie, that they start. And it goes for like, and I don't joke, it's literally 8 to 9 hours long. But they talk about comics, they talk about indie titles, they have guests on, they have a bunch of authors, writers, creators that are involved with their team that they have on all the time. So if you ever get a chance to either, at least swing by the beginning of the stream, definitely check out SpineTicks, because they're doing some really great things. And Sith Lord is one of the starters of it. So
no, I do have insomnia. So So
Yeah, next time you're up at 4 a.m.
I
Yeah,
might lurk in there. So
exactly.
Awesome.
They're great people, though. Great people.
Mhm.
So shout out to you, Sith, and the SpineTicks crew. So yeah, then any final thoughts before I know we're coming up on the hour mark. I have an unboxing that I'm going to do here live too, folks, for everyone in the chat. Any final thoughts though? We can kind of and I don't know if there's anything else we missed or anything that you guys just want to elaborate on. I'll start with you, Victoria.
Just read Sweet Tooth. Just do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
No.
Do it. Insert Palpatine meme here. Do it.
My favorite meme ever. I love
So
it
Yeah.
good.
so much.
So good.
Yeah. Well,
Abbie?
I'll broach this question to two of you. Since Sweet Tooth, is into a series now, do you guys think any other of Jeff Lemire's works should be turned into a TV show? What do you think?
Ooh. I honestly would love to see Gideon Falls done as some like crazy meta, like maybe even an anime or like
An
a
anime
crazy,
would be
like
cool.
animated series.
An anime would
I
be
think that would be
cool.
fun. Yeah, so that's what I would like to see.
I would love that, and of course, I would love Descender. Descender is I think it's my favorite book or series from Lemire, and so I would. I mean, I don't know how it'd be done exactly. I know a lot of it takes place in space, obviously, but certainly it could, it could be done. I think in a good way.
Interesting to see the watercolor art like brought in. Like,
yes, Dustin Nguyen. He is one of my favorites. I love his artwork in that, and it's really well done. So I would love to see some Tim 21 on the big screen. I think that would be really, really cool. Just thinking about it now, I'm like, ooh, like who would play the characters? Like who would play somebody? That'd be really interesting to think about.
I want Black Hammer.
Oh, so I haven't read Black Hammer yet.
Read it, Justin.
My
This
God.
is my threat to you. Read
Oh
it.
my gosh! All right, I'm out of here. Just gonna go read right now. See it. Don't yell at me. You guys finish the show. Victoria, you do the unboxing. I'll be back.
Oh my God, that was so
That was great.
That was so
Perfect.
Hey,
but like for reals though, you need to read it.
It's on. It's on my list. It is on my list. What's up, Nick? Good to see you. Nick's Kicks and Comics hanging out with us. So it's been on my list. Actually, I'll ask you this now. Where's the starting point to that?
Black Hammer?
Isn't there a lot? Isn't there a lot though? Like there isn't it? It's like
there's not all that much. I mean, they're doing more side stories in general, but like the main story right now, I think there's only 4. I think.
Okay. Yeah, because I knew there were a lot of side stories, so I didn't know.
Start with this.
Oh, I recognize that.
Or
Okay.
get that library one if you want to get the big boy.
Fancy.
And
is that hardcover?
The big boy. Yeah, it's massive. Like,
library
look at it compared to my head.
Everything it's hardcover.
Yeah. And then Victoria. This one. And then where are we at? And then this one. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Yep. And then this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then the rest of them are like side stories, like this one's almost I love those library editions.
Those are cool.
They're so big though. They're like bigger than a normal hardback, so they don't actually sit like upright on my shelf. I have to like lie them down. But still, I love them. I'm glad to have them.
Like you have really, this one.
You have to sit at table.
That's almost like
really
almost kind of. Like,
I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't there something with like the Justice League or something?
There is, which is my favorite one that they've done.
I remember you sharing something about it.
Yes, I love this one so much.
Okay. But that I can wait on. I mean, I could start with the other stuff. Yeah.
Just start the main story. But yeah, they got this one too, Colonel Weird. Like it's where it goes more. They have ones that go more in depth of certain characters and stuff.
So, so it's that's not all Jeff Lemire though, right? Aren't there other like co-writers involved? Or
yeah.
Okay.
There is some
but it's his world. It's his world.
It's his world. Yeah.
Okay. God. Yeah.
But yeah, he brings in different artists, different writers.
Okay.
What's it called at the moment? It's like a horror inspired like mini series that's going on at the moment, Abbie, and it's got Jeff Johns writing, I think.
Oh. It is. I mean, but I can't remember what it is.
Geiger?
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Geiger? Or are you talking about
are you talking about the one that's on Comixology?
Yeah, there's a new series at the moment. Yeah, it's horror inspired. It's like kind of like a Tales from the Crypt inspired Black Hammer thing, which was being written by Jeff Johns, I think. So
yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I won't be buying it, but still.
I'll be getting it from my library if I ever decide to read it.
Library.
Yeah. Have either of you read Jeff Lemire's Old Man Logan?
No.
No, but I have requested it from the librry because I really
read it. I love it.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
That's another one. Who's the artist for that? With Logan.
Sorrentino.
I would say Gideon Falls, right? Okay, I was thinking. I knew he teamed up with some other thing with that.
Yes, I love his work. His work.
I saw Sith Lordly also mentioning tonight that the writers that they have are Ted Sikora, who wrote Bloom, and Marvin Wynn, who wrote The Edge. Who I know Marvin pretty well. He's a good guy. He says we get progressively more drunk as the hours go. Yeah, so it definitely gets more and more entertaining if you stay up for the late streams that they have. And they do have guys from the UK, Ireland. They all jump on because it's earlier, or it's in the daytime for them. Victoria, you would be able to ride this out because
I should.
You would be able to pull that.
Because they'll still be going when I wake up in the morning. So
yeah. But anyways, so great recommendations for sure. I mean, there's so much Lemire. I mean, we could just have a Lemire club if we wanted to for all of his.
I'm not even kidding.
He's like, I mean, it's not a bad idea.
I'm in. I'm in.
All right, if Ted's in, then I'm in.
It's funny on Instagram where I talk about Lemire so much that people like tag me in all of his stuff like I hadn't already seen it, like the creep that I am. like if there are two people that people send me stuff all the time, it's Jeff Lemire and Jen Bartel. All the time. I will get like 10 of the same DM and I'm like, you guys know that I'm a super fan, right? Like I already know about this. But thank you.
It's like, if they know you well enough, they know that they don't even have
you seen this?
You. Like, yeah. I saw it the second it was posted, guys.
Because I have my notifications on, okay?
Check that out, V.
Oh, yay!
You just hit 200 subs. Thanks to Nick.
Amazing. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Yes, if you guys are not subbed up to V and V and Abbie, then make sure that you do so. Information's in the description below. Dave here saying I enjoyed Lemire's run on Thanos as much as Kate's run. Oh, interesting. So I didn't realize he did Thanos too.
No. I haven't dabbled much in his Marvel stuff yet, other than the Old Man Logan stuff. So that's a whole other thing I got to get into.
Yeah. Sith said everyone's welcome anytime. So V, there you go. I think you should go on SpineTicks at some point. I think you.
I will try my best, but I get up for work at like 4 a.m. So my bedtime's like 8 p.m.
So
the sun goes down.
I have to tell the story again because it's so funny. Two weeks ago, I just told this on my last stream, but two weeks ago, I jumped onto SpineTicks. They were on at 11 o'clock. Said hello to people in the chat, and they kick off their show, and they have a bunch of segments, through. It's all planned out for the 7 hours, 8 hours. So I jump in, I say hi, and then of course, like I can only stay for like half hour to an hour, and then I'm getting ready for bed. So I close out, and then middle of the night, I wake up at like 4 o'clock. And I never wake up in the middle of the night. I'm usually a very heavy sleeper. And for whatever, I'm wide awake now. So I wake up. I'm like, what can I do? Oh, you know what? Let me just see if the guys are still streaming. And sure enough, they're on there. And Michelle, who was in the chat, Moonlit, she was actually a guest of theirs. And she's on the East Coast. And she was still live streaming with them at 4 o'clock. So they start making jokes and they welcome me in. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I was on for another half hour. I'm like, I really got to go back to sleep. So because otherwise I'll miss all day Sunday. So I go back to sleep. I wake up at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, would they still be stream? Let me just see if they're still streaming. I go back in again. They're still on streaming. And it's a whole different panel at that time. And I'm just like, oh my God. And they were like just signing off. They're like, all right, guys, it's, been 9 hours. We're going to stop. Oh, No Good Comics is back in the chat. Look, he's checking in on us for a third time. I'm just like cracking up. I'm like, you guys, can't keep up.
God.
We got Swaggle House.
That is beast mode. That's intense. I'm tired and exhausted just thinking about
it.
Yeah. Totally.
That's great. You're getting a lot of love, you two. So just up both you ladies. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, if you guys are not following them, make sure you do so.
My channel's very chaotic. Sorry.
so chaotic. In advance. Go back and watch Abbie's Instagram reels and stories, or what do they call IGTVs? Very entertaining.
I gotta get back on those. So
yeah, those are fun.
Oh my God.
Okay,
all right,
unboxing.
yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
So this.
Oh, I'm getting all these pings for new subscribers on my channel now. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yes,
Uncanny
thank
Swag.
you.
All right, all right.
Thank
We got
you
12
guys.
people with us right now, by the way. Appreciate everybody hanging out as we're talking about some
Thank you,
Sweet Tooth.
everybody.
All right, so I'm going to open this up right now. Literally as we got on before we went live, Victoria's like, Justin, you got mail, and I'm like, that's creepy. How do you know that? Like, and so she had surprised me with a little something that we were going to open up here right now. And it came from Indiana, which is not where Victoria is from. So that's why also I was not sure who this was. Now I can at least explain it to my girlfriend who thought I just paid, bought another book again. I can say this. I did not pay for this one. Let me see. Oh man. So was this
something that I was supposed to mail you from me, but then I kept forgetting. So in the end, it was easier just to order it for you.
I was gonna ask it like who this individual was, if it was a store or a friend or someone you know. Do you know who Nick Bader is? That's who the person's name. Oh, you don't. Okay.
No.
Thought that was your boy.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, and I've also been doing like, I don't know, I've seen like a few people stuff recently. Like I sent my friend Sammy the Wolverine omnibus, and I sent Sheena the Wolverine omnibus, and I sent some stuff to Abbie when she bought a book off me, and I sent Brandon something as well. I can't remember what I sent Brandon, something. So yeah. So then I was like, I've got to send Justin. Oh yeah, I still owe him something, so I better I'll get it and send it to him. So yeah, that worked out well for me. I was on a roll. So
I was trying to win your giveaways, all your giveaways that you were doing. Those videos that you had put out.
I still got that sent to Sheena actually, because I keep being like, I'll send her this as well. I'm getting this next week. I'll send her that as well. And the box just gets like bigger and bigger. And I'm like,
bigger.
Oh, this is gonna be expensive.
I was gonna say the shipping goes up more and more.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a gentleman this Nick Bader guy is, because he has given me what we like to call the pull tabs.
Oh, the tabs. Yeah.
Pull tabs are life because they are easily to just pull and open without damaging the actual package. By the way, there's 2 books in here, so I am curious what the 2 books are. Bear with me. Here's the first one. Oops, put that there. Oh yes, Miss Harley Quinn herself.
Yeah.
Let me blow that one up there. So this was from a giveaway that you had done a little while ago. I forget it was one where you did like the wheel and you did like the random wheel spin. And for whatever reason, I am like the mutant domino when it comes to giveaways, because I am just very good at having luck. And so that is where that came from. So thank you for that. And do you know the artist? It says Babs on it.
Yeah, it's Babs Tarr.
Oh,
so she did the Batgirl series with Brendan Fletcher, the Batgirl of Burnside series. So yeah, she's like a fan favorite for DC and like the Gotham City Sirens fans. So
nice.
Yeah.
And then so
the 2 variants.
Oh, the 2. Okay, cool. So the other one was black and white. This one has the colors. Beautiful.
Yay, to add to your Harley collection.
Yes,
I was going to send you one of them from the giveaway, and then I just never got around to mailing it because I'm lazy. And so I was like, oh, look, there's the 2 of them together. That'll be perfect for your collection, because
thank you, Victoria.
Stunning drawing. You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Yes, Uncanny Swag says luck is a superpower. It is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely.
Very
superpower. True. Justin is Domino. Like when I see a picture of Domino, it's just a picture of Justin to me.
I have a large poster of Domino on my wall to my left. I love Domino.
Yes, she's so great.
So thank you so much. I appreciate that, and very cool adding into my collection, Harley.
Yay!
Anything as we kind of wind down here? What is Dave saying? Justin is a variant version of Domino. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Watch out for the Time Variant Authority, Justin.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to watch
too many giveaways.
I have the 5th episode to watch later this week, or either tonight or tomorrow. I'll probably catch up on it.
I watched it this morning right before I came on here.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good, that last episode. Oh my god.
I heard it's
Amazing.
great. I heard it's great.
I also paid for Black Widow on Disney Premiere
Oh,
because
nice.
I didn't know if it was going to be too violent for Lila, so I didn't want to pay to go to the theater and find out if it was too scary for her or not. So yeah, I paid for it on Premiere, and I really loved it. Like, I thought it was really good.
Is it good for children or?
No, too violent.
No, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I saw you posting pictures that you were watching it. So we're going either tonight or tomorrow.
Oh yeah, cool. I hope you like it. I felt like it was up there with the Winter Soldier in terms of like vibes, obviously. And it was quite gritty. The opening sequence made me cry.
Okay. All right. We're actually gonna go see it in theater. This is gonna be our first movie back at theaters, and so it's a big step for us. It has to be a Marvel movie, doesn't it? It has to, yeah. I mean, we're big moviegoers, or we were big moviegoers before the pandemic, so it definitely has been sad in that regard too, of just not being able to do one of the things that we love. So you'll catch. I mean, I know you guys follow my stories and stuff. You'll catch me when we do really get going again. We literally go at least once a week, maybe twice a week to the theaters. Do you, Abbie? Yeah. Oh,
awesome. I go to movies a lot.
Love it. Yeah. I love the experience.
It is
and everything.
I love the dine-in theaters. So you go early.
Oh yes, sign me up. Sign me up.
Your full meal.
Yep, and they make pretty good burgers. I have to say, I actually really like the burgers and fries. So.
Oh, nice.
Big comfy chairs with like the little heaters. You put your feet out. Like
there was a guy who like fell asleep next to us once because they are like really nice and comfy.
Yeah, they recliners. They're plush. They're plush.
So yeah, I'm excited for that, and so we're gonna see that either tonight or tomorrow. So anything that I like to go around the room here. Anything coming up, Victoria, or if you want to just let the people know where they can find you, and if you have any, I don't know, any shows or anything that you want to announce coming up.
Yeah. So I am doing Descender on the Comic Shop News channel. I would check on my phone what the date is, but I'm streaming on my phone right now, so I can't. But yeah, that's on my Instagram. My Instagram is just Read Across the Stars. I'm mostly just posting like reels and stuff on there at the moment. I haven't done any vlogs in a while, but I promise I'll get back to reading vlogs soon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My channel's linked below. It's the same handle, Read Across the Stars. So yes, thank you for joining us.
It is the 24th, by the way. Saturday, July 24th, 9 p.m. And that's over on Comic Shop News channel, Dan's channel, right?
Yeah, and we're doing Descender. So yeah, that's going to be great because it's a big panel. It's lots of my friends, so it's going to be great.
Yeah,
lots of fun people.
Very cool. All right, and I'll pass it over to you, Abbie. Anything coming up, and just kind of let the people know where they can find you.
Well, I mean, I've been posting. I try and post about weekly on my YouTube channel. It's as I said, it's very chaotic because right now I'm in this like weird manga obsession. So it's like all that's on my brain. And it's all I want to consume right now. My project for July is to work on my TBR shelf, which is this over here. Ooh. All of my unread books and all of my unread comics and manga and everything, my library stuff, everything. So that's my July objective, but I also post like little travel videos and stuff like that too. So I've got some trips and stuff lined up. So
cool.
If you like cats, go follow me on Instagram. My cat's all over Instagram. 10 word. He's the best.
Lila and I were looking at your TED like saved thing last night. Your TED highlight. We were looking at the TED highlight last night. We're like, he's so cute.
Wait, does Ted have his own Instagram channel yet? Because if not, I mean,
I know. Well, I put him on my personal Instagram. So my personal Instagram is Abbie plus Ted, but it's mostly Ted. So I'm actually surprised he hasn't come in here crying because usually he doesn't like to be away from me. But I think he's decided that he's going to take his afternoon nap. So
I thought we'd at least see a glimpse.
He did before I actually hopped on here. He was trying to jump on my keyboard. But then he fell. So I think he's embarrassed.
Oh, all right. Well,
he did one of those little like.
Yeah.
Go very high. So and then he ran away.
Sorry, what did he do? What did he do there?
You know those fail videos where you see cats and they run and they just like that's what he did.
Yeah.
He ran and then went.
I love it. Dave says nice to meet both of you. We'll be watching your content. And Sith Lordley says love cats. Wish I could have him, but Lady Sith is allergic. Oh yeah, so love dogs as well. That's fair.
I probably am. I have bad allergies, but
if you want to see a lot of dog content as well, I have two dogs, and they regularly take over my vlog. So yeah, Atlas, who's asleep on my back at the moment. If you want to see more of her, These
we're
vlogs.
like selling our channels just
Yeah.
with our pets. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
you should subscribe because I got a really cute animal here.
I do. I promise I do. Look.
No, you do. I just had to mute myself because my dog was barking.
Your dogs are
Cutie.
so cute,
A
Justin.
cutie. Dave says, "Yeah, family has family has cats and dog, cat, dog, and fish.
You got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good deal.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So let me swap this here, and so all right. So I think that's yeah. I mean, everything. You guys have a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm looking forward to you guys just continuing to do what you do. I do want to say you mentioned TBR before, and Abbie, you were the one that explained to me, or like I didn't know what TBR was up until I started following you. So there's a lot of things I learned from you, Abbie, and I don't know if I've shared that with you, but there's a lot of things that I've learned from you. Oh, we just lost Victoria. Maybe she got a phone call or something. If you guys miss, anyone here still, if you missed the beginning, make sure you go back and watch the beginning because it is very funny. It is
So
just very
good.
funny. And there goes my dog. Oh, there she is. Hey.
It was her turn to prank you this time.
Yeah, exactly.
No cheating with Abbie. No, I'm kidding.
So anyone watching, if you're watching the replay, we'll remind you that we will continue our comic book team up that Victoria and I have been doing. This was episode 5 technically, so we'll come up with a 6th. We will probably do like a DC book or something, or I don't know. V, we got to look at the list, but we have options though. We have options. So still plenty to go. And that next one will be over on Victoria's channel. So make sure you guys are subbed up. But we'll figure all that out.
At some point, we'll do anher Sweet Tooth on Abbie's channel.
Or just really any Jeff Lemire conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Abbie will be there.
So
Yeah.
I hear his name and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I've arrived.
I'm here.
I'm here.
You have summoned me.
Just pop up out of nowhere.
That is how you summon me.
Yeah.
I'm Jeff Lemire and I'm there.
The summoning circle, the candles, Jeff Lemire plus Jen Bartel.
Exactly.
Yes. And then a cat. And then that is how you summon me.
Yeah. Summoning circle is made out of cats.
If when we sign off here, Abbie, if you're newer to StreamYard, don't hang up after we sign off, just so you know.
Okay.
So all right, for anyone watching, thank you so much. Make sure you smash the like button on your way up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll be back again sooner rather than later, hopefully. So stay tuned, and we will announce that coming up on Instagram. So until next time, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys later.